So, Miss Stardust, tell me what's on your mind.
Well, recently there has been some lack of communication between others and myself, and because of that, most relationships and our friendships I'm in don't end well.
I'm sorry to hear that, Stardust. Might I ask how long this has been going on?
I suppose ever since my first relationship ended in my freshman year, he broke it off without giving much of an explanation, and a friend told me the reasoning as to why he broke it off with me a few hours after it happened, which I wanted to hear from him and not someone else.
I see. Has this happened in other relationships for you?
Sadly, yes. A few friendships have ended because there wasn't any communication and I didn't know what was going on with said friend. Most have ended because they thought I did something wrong and didn't talk to me about it, therefore ending the friendship. Or they end up talking to someone else about what I supposedly did instead.
Might I ask how you would have handled that news if said person did talk to you face to face about it?
Well, first of all, I would have felt better if they came and talked to me about it, and I would have been calm talking things out with them and see how the relationship and friendship would have gone from there.
Would you be willing to respect their wishes if all they wanted was to let it go, though? Would you keep yourself from trying to fix anything if there wasn't a mutual desire to do so?
I would let it go if they had wished it of me, though there would be that part of me that would have liked to know the reason behind it and would have fixed it if given the chance.
Sounds like you would have acted in a mature manner, even in the face of distressing news. Though I have to wonder, in these relationships you speak of, were you hoping that the bond you shared would continue to grow closer? Or was it more that you were content with keeping things exactly as they were?
In a way, a little bit of both. I do wish that all my bonds with my friends and any other relationships I'm in would continue to grow throughout time. And I wouldn't say I want to keep things the exact same way, but if there was going to be a change, mostly negative change, in any kind of relationship I'm in, I would at least like some sort of warning per se instead of it all coming to a halt. And I wouldn't exactly be prepared for the change, if that makes sense.
I'm sure that many of us would want our relationships to continue to grow over time, but that really isn't the case for everyone. There are more than a few people out there who are pretty much only interested in being with someone to have fun, and really aren't looking for anything more. Of course, the reasons as to why they feel that way are quite varied, but it does happen. It could be a desire for independence and freedom, or perhaps previous relationships that went sour and not wanting to relive pains of the past, or even just a general fear of change. Most everyone learns to properly handle these feelings and perhaps even better empathize with the needs of others, but there are always exceptions. Do you think this might have had anything to do with your previous relationships, Miss Stardust?
It might, though sometimes due to lack of communication, it's hard to tell if it's something personal that they haven't told me yet, or if it's something that I've done.
Well, in regards to your communication, have you ever talked with any of them about how you're worried your current relationship will turn out like a previous relationship? Showing them your concerns and woes?
The thing is, though, there were no hints that said relationship was going to turn out like ones in the past, until it was too late, so I wouldn't have thought to talk about it. And I wouldn't say I want to burden them with my concerns, but more so talk it out in a manner where they would see where I was coming from, and where we could talk it out and both have a better understanding of not only how I'm feeling, but how they're feeling as well.
Let me ask you this then. I know that women love to drop hints. I think it is part of their DNA. But men just don't get them. I think that is part of our DNA. You mentioned how much you would wish to talk with each of them about the relationship, but do you remember any moments where any of them had asked you what's wrong and you responded with nothing? I know that we can be rather clueless at times, so you really need to be honest with your feelings and not bottle things up until they burst. Do you think this had ever happened to you, Miss Stardust?
It's always the other way around. When people ask me if something's wrong and I say nothing, it's generally because nothing's wrong. Though sometimes, or most times, when I ask people what's wrong, I'm usually the one who gets the nothing. That usually means something. I'm pretty sure when I was younger, like in middle school, I was the one who always said nothing, but that was because I didn't know how to open up to others. But once I grew older and became closer to my friends, I realized that I could open up to them and soon they could help me so my nothings would be solved. If that makes any sense.
All right. And what did you do with them to have fun, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, I guess the question would be what we don't do for fun. We have sleepovers, shop at the mall, or just walk around. We go see movies, swim during the summertime, or just sit around and talk about life. And of course the occasional talk about who's crushing on who.
What about conversations like the one we are having right now? How often has that happened in your relationships?
Not that often anymore. I think we used to have these types of conversations a few times a month, even sometimes within a few weeks. And now it's once every few months.
Well, that may be part of the answer you're looking for. And it could be that the people you choose to spend your time with aren't seeking the same things you would want. And it could be that there is a need for better communication on your part as well. Or perhaps even something that we haven't thought of as of yet. Though at the very least, I do hope that talking about these concerns has helped to lift your spirits a bit, Miss Stardust.
You may be right. And yeah, this has helped me a lot, Doctor. Thank you for having me in today.
Glad to be of service. Shall we continue on this next week?
Sounds good to me. But before I go, boop.
What was that for?
That's how I show appreciation for ponies. And in this case, wolves.
Ah, well, thank you then. And take care, Miss Stardust. It's good to be helping.